I get up at 4. You know when I get
Good
up.
Lord.
Say hi to Andrew Rivers for 1 second before you go. I'm going to hit
For
record
sure.
Andrew puts this on social media. It's the only reason he comes on with us because you know, it's not worth hanging out with a bunch of old farts in the senior home unless he gets some media out of it. Andrew, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you. Hi, Jody.
Hi, Andrew. How are you?
I'm doing good.
I like your
see
long
that,
hair.
Thank you. My parents are disappointed in me, but that was before the hair, so.
Well, sure. I think you look cool, Andrew. I think your long hair is giving you vibes.
Oh, perfect. That's what I'm going for.
It's that I can't afford a haircut vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you look cool. You look healthy and buff, and you're doing it still. And congratulations.
Yeah, it's great. That's a great side for my career. Well, you're still doing it. That's good.
You're still doing it. I can't fucking believe it. You know,
can't believe we can't. We did not encourage that, and you still stuck it out anyway. So, well, my album is out, so you can. Right. You know, I'm official. So
let's say goodnight to Jody because she has to go to bed, and then we'll talk about your album. Jody,
have a nice shower, Jody.
Yay! Good night, everybody. Thanks for having me, Bob.
Good night.
Take care. Bye.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Howdy.
I just didn't, you know. On one hand, I wanted her to stay around. On the other hand, I know she has to go to bed. And also, anytime we have 5 people on,
Right.
it's hard to, you know.
Well, I mean, I get you were like, hey, someone else can talk to my kid because I don't want to. You know, and that gets the monkey off your back. You know? So it's been like a month since I've been on the podcast. So
well, you were touring part of the time. We also had to do a show on a different day, and I love this
for the
because
phone call.
Andrew's like, you know, he doesn't call me until it's time for the podcast, and he goes, "Are we on?" And like, "Where's my invitation?" And I go, "Well, we had to record it last night." He was like, "Oh, thanks for letting me know." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. I'll have my producer do that."
Well, you do contact several other people for the show. I think you can just loop me in on the group chat if you want. But I understand if it's too much work for you.
I don't know. What is
you
a
just
group
call
chat?
me. Is
that one of those swipe left things that you use to find other people?
Sure. I'll have someone in the home explain it to you for you. But,
anyway,
listen, I'm happy. You know, I'm just grateful to be here. You guys finally ran out of Wikipedia articles. And,
that's your own routine.
Thank you for having me.
So anyway, no, it is great to have you. And look, are we still going to do the unappreciated son bit, or you know?
I'm just telling.
I mean,
jokes,
I drove around the country and followed you like a Grateful Deadhead fan to see this incredible show you're on. I bragged to everybody about you, and then you still go, yeah, my dad. He's scratching his ass and reading Wikipedia.
So much more fun than him fawning over you.
Anyway, you are, first off, good to see you doing so great. Life is good. You're going back on tour again with Steve Hofstetter at some point?
Yeah, I'll be gone starting like November 2nd in Orlando.
And
the album support tour.
Yeah, well, and here's the best part of it. His last show is November 23rd in Syracuse. Is it Syracuse? Yes.
Wow.
And it's 4 hours from here. And perfect. I get the honor of picking him up and bringing him here for Thanksgiving.
Very cool.
Which is awesome.
Wow, what a great father, driving 2 hours.
4 hours each way. Excuse me. I'm the exaggerator here. I'm the one that minimizes other people. Where did you learn that shit from?
2 turkeys at the celebration.
No,
I mean, you know, I get it. You know, it's so much easier to just throw me on a Greyhound, and then the chances are I might get murdered on the bus,
sure.
and then you don't have to spend Thanksgiving.
He's got a resentment because
that.
He had to take a Uber from Burlington. The only reason he had to do that is I was picking up his other brother in Boston. So no, I love my favorite thing is
you dropped
roadie.
Off your favorite son at the other city, and then
my favorite son.
Gonna be ugly.
You know,
I'm just kidding. Come on.
If I had a favorite son, you should shut up about it. That's all I would say. Because I love both my sons equally, but I love what you do. You know that. And one of my favorite times ever having you here was when you had booked your flight out of Montreal. You remember that?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll drive you to Montreal. 3.5, 4 hours each way, crossing a border. I thought this would be a great time for us to sit. And what we did on that road is we listened to cool comics that were inspirational. Do you remember the big one we listened to?
I mean, yeah, we listened to Louis C.K. a lot.
Louis C.K. I was like, this guy is incredible. You should model your life after him.
Yeah. That's why you don't take advice from Dad there.
Hindsight's 2020.
I saw him once, but I had to leave because there were some gals that wanted to, some other comics he wanted to hang out with. Anyway, let's get to it. So you're going to be...
Well, I wanted to leave, but he wouldn't let me. He was standing in the doorway.
So you're going to be back on tour, but the real big news is your album is out. It was 1 week exclusive on Pandora. Now it's on all the streaming services.
Yes.
The album is called For the Wrong Reasons.
There you go. You got the promo notes I sent ahead.
And you've got
Thank
a
you.
rose in your mouth, which is obviously a callback to the gal, what's her name, Katie?
Katie, yeah.
From The Bachelorette. But the really big news, and you know what I'm going to bring up because your mother is all excited about it, is that Katie announced that her guy, what was his name? The guy that she was supposedly going to spend the rest. Nick? Blake. She announced that they had agreed to part ways. And that although they deeply respected each other, there's this comedian in Seattle that she's hopelessly in love with.
Sure. Okay, TMZ. Let's.
She's back on the market anyway.
Well, she's back on the market, and your mother is like already planning the shower. The bridal shower.
Sure.
So
yeah. Well, I think that's interesting. I didn't know any. I had no advanced knowledge of it. I do know that he lives in Canada, but for the last month he's been in Africa saving animals or something. He works for like a conservatory. And so I'm sure, not that I can relate to this or anything, but I'm sure being away from someone for a month at a time can be hard on a relationship.
Right.
And so, everyone I know is texting me like, now's your chance. You can get back together. It's
now's your chance. I'm on a bus on my way to Syracuse. I'm going to text her and tell her.
Yeah. She doesn't want to go to third world countries like Ohio. It's bad.
Easy.
It's still close to Detroit there. Ohio.
But, I haven't reached out to her. I feel a little paralyzed by fear sometimes, because I don't want her to think I'm reaching out for the wrong reasons. And so
That's
I think
the name of your album, by the way. That's counts as another plug.
Sentimental reasons.
Thank you. Come on. But I think I'll wait a few days and send my condolences with a picture of me flexing in the mirror. Like,
That's good.
I'm all buff now.
Now,
but she did.
Yes, go ahead.
She did recently do her first stand-up comedy performance. So, my thought, this is my plan to trick her into loving me. Right? Is if she comes back to Seattle, I'll invite her to like a big show and invite her to see how successful and famous I am and
how it's really done.
It's like the old saying, if you want to sleep your way to the top, you've got to start at the bottom. And I'm right here for you.
Here I am. Signed, sealed, delivered.
That's beautiful. What was I going to say? Oh, shoot.
I'll keep going.
Yeah. I could take that
if you have a thought, you just write it down, and then we can come back to it.
Yeah. All right. So enough of her. So
sure.
What else is going on with you right now? What's your big deal?
I mean, I'm just promoting the album. The album is out. I'm still in the closet, but the album is out. And,
are you, by the way? There was one time we thought, he's really sensitive, maybe.
Just one time?
Yeah. Well, and then it was like, maybe he's a switch hitter. I don't know. And but then you've always pretty much been interested in girls. So,
yeah.
I
remember what I was going to ask you about on the album. Do you get how do you get paid these days? We were talking about Spotify royalties and how small they are.
Sure.
Does anybody actually buy downloads?
Yeah, a bunch of people sent me a note that said they bought it on iTunes.
Awesome.
I know, like Spotify is, 5/100ths of a cent every time you stream it or whatever.
He knows.
So
that's right.
I always tell people, like, hey, when you're leaving for work, just leave it on your Alexa for the cats. Just play it for your cats.
Leave it on repeat.
Yeah, just play it on mute while you do some other stuff in the background.
You do know your mother would fall for that, right?
Yep.
You don't.
Oh, she should play it for the cat because the cat doesn't like me. But I think if the cat gets to know me, because I'm not around all the time. But if it gets used to the sound of my voice, maybe
She leaves the TV on all morning, and Rachel Ray has never sent us a nickel. So I think
that cat is leaning pretty far right.
that's pretty funny. Wow. So there is that, and then and how did you do? Like they rank new releases and stuff. Did you have anything to brag about there? All right, we can move on to another topic.
Definitely.
I think we lost him.
Did we lose him? Yeah.
Yeah, his signal cut out.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
When a comic releases a new album, they they rank the newest releases that came out that week. And Andrew's of the stature where he probably showed up in the top 5 or whatever. But yeah, he just disappeared. Here he's coming back. Are you back?
Hello. Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know either.
Okay, so when the releases came out, did you rank?
I don't know. I actually didn't. I didn't look it up. I'm sure someone would have told me, but I didn't. I didn't look into it. Actually, I went on a hike the day of the album so that I didn't stare at my phone all day, going, "Who else is going to send me love?" And I just wanted to not have a phone signal.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of some. Because it's a lot of people will think about the first week numbers, but this is a long-term project, right? Like this thing is on the internet forever. It's beaming into space. Foreign planets are going to hear it. The aliens, when they take over, maybe they'll go, this is another reason to add to our list to blow this planet up. But I was thinking of like promotional stunts, because you lived on a billboard for a week and you buried yourself in concrete. So I'm trying to think I don't know if you had any ideas that you didn't use, or I don't know if I'm up for, a billboard lifestyle.
Well,
but
times have changed. This is a worthwhile discussion.
Sorry.
What are you playing?
Are you?
Ed's got a porn channel on at the bottom.
Everyone says it's my roommate that plays porn, but it's Ed the whole time.
Anyway, so prior to internet ubiquity,
would you knock it off?
Franklin or Jeff Franklin?
Ed.
He's trying
You can really
to
tell who's interested in this podcast to keep opening new tabs.
No, I'm going to shut the phone down.
He's trying to stay awake.
Narcoleptic Ed, live from Detroit.
All right. Have you got it under control?
I'm trying to shut it off, but it's a new phone, and I don't know how to shut the 12 off yet.
Oh. What kind of phone is it?
The 12.5 Pro.
Wait a minute.
Whatever that is.
12?
The iPhone 12.5 Pro.
Why did you
12.5 Pro.
Why did you not get the 13?
It wasn't out yet. And this is the Edsel of all iPhones, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did you get a new iPhone that wasn't new, though? Did you
It
break your
was
phone?
new at the time,
Oh, okay.
you see.
But
I've had
it
a
was
while.
new last year, and you haven't figured it out. Yeah, I can't.
That's typical. I'm a Luddite, Bob.
Okay. You realize we're giving credence to Andrew's theory that we're all in a senior home right now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But he's right.
Back to you, Andrew.
Thank you.
Sure. I can't remember where we were.
Well, the promotional stunts, living on a billboard, times have changed.
Yes. So back in the day, you could do a promotional stunt, and there'd be 3 news channels locally. There'd be 2 newspapers.
Right, a helicopter following
a helicopter, and they would all be forced to do whatever was the biggest thing of the day in their town. Now, all of those, if those channels even exist, they have a skeleton staff of people that rewrite BuzzFeed stories, and they don't have.
And they're run by corporate. They get. You've seen those like Sinclair Media where they splice the 40 different newscasters saying the same thing.
Do you know about that stuff, Zip and Ed?
I'm sure you've talked about it on here. Yeah.
No, we haven't. These days, a lot of news content, because there's so few reporters hired. Like if you're part of a broadcast group, they will send you stories that they made for the whole group, and then they'll put individual call letters in.
Yeah.
And frequently the stories have whatever slant the particular group has on the news. And it's made to look like you still have local news, but you don't.
No. Repackaging and repurposing.
Right. Stringers, they used to call it.
Yeah. So for Andrew, who wants to promote his record, there's the old-fashioned now. YouTube and Facebook are old-fashioned.
I got to go get arrested by the police or something. I need a news story out here. But
I don't even know. Does that work for
I don't know. Here's what I got so far. Here's my idea: is when the YouTube video comes out, because it's just audio version right now. They still got to add laughter to the video,
Sure.
but. I was thinking of like a iPad giveaway. I've seen this online a couple times, where if it's like I'm going to give away an iPad if you leave a comment on the post and tag 3 friends.
Look, if you want to make money, you're going to give away an iPad if you give me your social security number and the name of your firstborn and your and your wife's
Well, no,
maiden
I
name.
just pick a comment, someone who comments on the video and tags a couple friends, and then I'm just trying to think of the ways that. That it could go wrong. Like either that I'll mess it up or someone will try to rig the contest. I'll pick the comment that says horny singles near you, and then everyone knows that was Ed cheating his way to the iPad, But it's like, no, I thought it was a spam bot. I was going to pick the spam bot on purpose so I could keep the iPad, get off on a technicality.
Okay.
That's the only way I get off nowadays, technicality. All right, we'll move on. Listen,
The lonely comic.
listen. Did he disconnect again, or is it just thank you? Perfect. That's good. Well, I should be more famous for how talented I am. I just need another break here.
It's true.
I'm still a little pissed that ABC didn't try to put me on The Bachelorette. Because obviously that relationship didn't work out. So it's like you guys were wrong. And they're having all these diversity issues on ABC, and so I who better to solve that than me? I want to see myself represented. I'd be the
to
first
all the hunks
bachelor.
they put on Bachelorette, you are diversity.
Yes. I'd be the first bachelor contestant with Backney. We need
There you go.
representation.
Have you ever thought, Andrew, if she is getting into stand-up, she could open for you? I mean, if she gets any kind of chops going. Right?
Yeah. Well, she just opened for Whitney Cummings, and so
Well, there you go. She can open for Whitney.
Yeah.
I mean,
Thank you, Ed, for not making the open for you
The open
joke that
for
I
me
had
joke. Yeah.
expected you to make. I really appreciate that.
So,
well, that was left unsaid. I left it there on the table because everyone would have get it.
all
right,
sometimes you let the little fish
Well,
go.
hey, speaking of charitable causes like my dating life, I hosted a charity auction in North Bend. I figured this would be fun to talk about because I know you, back when you were famous, you hosted these things like 6 times a year.
Not charity auctions.
I feel like I remember
I did
all
it,
the time.
Yeah, a couple. I didn't enjoy it, but when I was doing it, I did my best and was enjoying it while I was doing it. How is it for you?
It's fun. Well, so they're building an art center in North Bend. It's the Regional Center for Creation of Art, which is kind of like your brick thing.
Yeah.
And so if you're looking to give away any more money before it ends up in the will, that's a good spot. But I worked with this. They teamed me up with a.
Yeah.
Listen, you give it all away. I'm fine. They teamed me up with a professional auctioneer because they had seen me do stand up a bunch, and so they wanted to. They knew, I need a
idea.
parent
Sure.
or guardian.
Yeah.
But I learned a couple tricks. He has a couple tricks which are really fun. Like the first item he sells is a $5 bill, and it sells for $25 to remind people that
They can't add.
it's for charity.
Yeah.
Right? It's not about the value you're getting. It's about showing other people you're better than them,
I
right?
hate that kind of stuff.
genius.
So-
I've seen this, yes.
But it was fun. We got to play like kind of a good cop, bad cop, and I provided the comic relief, and he stuck to the official announcements. Like when we started the auction, half the people were still outside. And so I had to be like, hey, come on in. It's ventilated, and there's a barn next door, so we can get some ivermectin if we need it. And got a big laugh, and it was a fun
awesome.
time. And there was a 92-year-old dentist from Bellevue who collected African artifacts. And so he was auctioning off a bunch of these things. And I was trying to joke with him, like, hey, you're living proof that vaccines work, You have to get all these jabs to go over there and come back, and he's still standing.
That's good. Did you get your
Interesting.
booster yet? Did you get your second?
Yeah, I got it. If you've done any research, it's the reason that the Johnson & Johnson is only 70 whatever is because there's only one shot. The first shot of Pfizer is 70% effective also.
Yeah, but they wane over time.
Yes, which is why the ideal time to get your second booster shot is 3 to 6 months. But they did the 3 weeks because they wanted to make the studies go quicker. You know, if they do a 3-month in between time, which the UK was one of the first places because of lack of vaccines. We're spoiled by wealth out here. But in the UK, they were just saying get as many first jabs in people as possible because then, you know, then you reach a higher amount of population sooner. So
and you had a Pfizer when you were.
I had a Johnson & Johnson the first time, and then 6 months later, I got a Pfizer.
Before it was
and they
authorized.
say now mixing and matching could be good, or maybe I'll turn into Voltron. You know, who knows?
I am Optimus Prime.
So if you were to get another one, it would be your third, and you haven't.
Yeah, and then, but that's the thing too is they're coming out and saying our definition of fully vaccinated may change in the future, and this is where we get into slippery slopes, and you start to go, what's going to happen over here? Who knows?
Well,
lots of people are losing their jobs now with the vaccine.
Welcome
mandate.
to my world.
Yes,
I know.
So, I mean, science is supposed to be that way. Science evolves as more information becomes available, and at all times, scientists make the best recommendation they can, risk versus reward, you know, with the information they have at the time. And it's so weird because when information changes and science changes their recommendation, people go, you know, fake, you lied. And it's not that. It's like, you know, when you were in the third grade.
It's a messaging problem.
Yeah, when you were in the third grade, you got some stuff wrong that you would do, you know, you would know now. And science is like that. They're always learning and graduating.
It's debatable, third grade. I think that's when I stopped paying attention. But there's all these like police officers now, you know, quitting their job, and they're going viral for, you know, they do their sign off and they go, after 23 years of service, Jay Inslee can kiss my ass or whatever, you know.
I heard about that.
And it's interesting to me because the vaccine is meant to protect and serve, and you think that'd be right up their alley,
in line with their values.
Right. But cops like COVID around as long as possible because it attacks minorities better than they can. So, I don't know. You know, it's tough. I don't know if we should force cops to take a vaccine. I mean, they already have qualified immunity, so that's got to count for something.
There's edgy stuff, which I love. I do love it.
You know. You just think like the mandate part of it is tricky because when you give the government power to force you to do something, you have to think about what the other side that you don't necessarily agree with might do with that power. Like if Republicans win, is there going to be a horse-paced mandate? You know, we don't know. I mean, that's one way to get Enumclaw vaccinated. But come on, folks, listen.
These guys don't know where Enumclaw.
These are the jokes.
He's been wanting to kick me off the podcast for 20 minutes now, but I figure as long as I keep starting new jokes, he won't be able to stop.
No, we're done. We're tired. We're done 100 minutes now.
You worn us out.
But it's great to have you back, and it's been too long. And,
well, I will close on one last little edgy joke here, because, you know, we should stop horsing around about the ivermectin, because, you know, it's for worms and stuff, but it's also a medicine that has been used in the past, and it even won a Nobel Prize.
Did it?
And they don't just give those out to anybody, right? I mean, Obama won one of those for peace when he was bombing a bunch of Iranian weddings. I don't know who to trust. It's hard. Here's what I do. I find news that agrees with my predetermined point of view, and I just repeat that as if it's fact.
Awesome. Andrew, good stuff. Thank you very much.
Very good.
Thanks for having me. Good to see you.
Okay. Andrew Rivers.
Go get the album.
Get the album.
Spotify, iTunes. There is another. iTunes is getting me confused because there's a gospel singer named Andrew Rivers.
That's
so don't accidentally download a gospel album.
And next week, when we introduce Andrew Rivers, you know what you're going to hear.
Sacrilege.
Right. Be well, son.
Later.
Love you.
It's good. He's on fire.
I'm sorry you guys didn't get to talk much this week,
That's
right?
okay. I don't mind.
It's Jody and Andrew.